And speaking of Rav Sharkey, this is another thing I heard. Something very interesting from him because he always has interesting ideas. So thank God he's around uh, now to teach us these things. What did Rav Sharkey say? He said something very interesting. Shmuel Navi was a well-known descendant of Korach. That is made clear in the book of Chronicles. And his descendants, his ancestors, of course, by being a descendant of Korach, his ancestors were among them were Korach's own sons, of course, and they were some of the greatest Levites, psalmists that we have in our history. There are psalms ascribed to them, and so too to Samuel's own grandson are there in the book of Psalms. He said that Samuel basically accomplished correctly, Torah, and with God's approval, that which his ancestor Korach tried to do, but he did it l'shem shemaim. What was Korach's challenge? Korach was part of, basically, as I understand it, a rabble, a collection of different claimants. Descendant of Aviram, their complaint was that Moses had failed in his leadership. He hadn't brought the people to a land flowing with milk and honey, and now they're just stuck in the desert. And now they're just telling them they're going to be stuck there for a whole generation. Everybody's going to die. Only the children will get to be in the land of Israel. Until that time, Descendant of Aviram were Kriyei Ha'idah. They were big shots. They had stood at Sinai. They had merited to leave Egypt. They were with Moshe along the way. So it must be they have certain merits to them, depending on which midrashim you go with. But eventually they challenged this aspect. Korach told them, why are you get to be in charge? This pair of brothers have basically taken leadership, or kingship as Chazal referred to it. That was Moshe Rabbeinu's position, even if he was not called Moshe HaMelech. And Aaron took the high priesthood. And then there were a few others who, that was their specific complaint, 250 other men, apparently from Shvatim like Ruvain, who wanted priesthood. That's what they were challenging. Okay, so Korach was able to put together all these groups and basically lead a sort of rebellion, even if it might have been not lacked a certain direction. What were they trying to accomplish? As the Medrash says, On's wife was trying to tell On, what were you going to get out of this? Maybe they'll make Korach will be high priest and Descendant of Aviram will be in charge of the nation. You know, you'll still be yourself. You won't have accomplished anything. Someone said it's like Havdil El of Alfia of Davos. It's like the fight over who can be the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the United States. They replace one guy with another. They don't like this guy, so they'll throw him out. But what are they going to get instead? Is it really so much of an improvement? Does it really make a nafkamina? I don't know. So Korach wanted, I guess, to make sure that leadership and kahuna were in the hands of other people. And what happened with Shmuel Navi? Shmuel Navi, when he assumed the leadership of the Jewish people, he was God's prophet after all. Eli Kohen had just passed away. Am Yisrael had lost a great battle against the Philistines, and basically their leadership and high priestly class had been, I guess, nullified. What happened? Shmuel Navi is now in charge. Shmuel Navi is leader of the Jewish people. In David's own words, Shmuel Navi has basically become Moshe Rabbeinu. He has taken Moshe Rabbeinu's place, just like Korach wanted. Not only that, Shmuel Navi ushered in the era of the Heter Bamoth, as we have discussed many times previously. The Mishkan was destroyed, and what was left of the original Mishkan, the Mishkan of Shilo, was destroyed. The original Mishkan was set up in Nov, but now there's Heter Bamoth, which meant that anybody could offer sacrifice on his own altar until such time as a more permanent sanctuary would be built. And Shmuel Navi was the first of these people to show them. That's the new halacha. Shmuel Navi was the one who showed them, al pi nevuah, al pi chachma, whichever one is his Torah psak. The temple has been destroyed. The sanctuary as it was destroyed. And now we can go back to the old ways. And now Shmuel Navi was the main officiant at sacrificial services, despite the fact that he was only a Levite and not a Kohen. So he basically took over the Kehunah Gedolah. And that's basically what the girls described to Saul when he sought Shmuel Navi. Yeah, the Navi leads the service, and Navi leads the sacrificial service, and he's the one who recites the blessing. He's the one who conducts everything. And so too, when Saul went to find Samuel, Shmuel Navi, went to find Jesse to anoint one of his sons, also, his excuse was he has come to Bethlehem to offer sacrifice. That's what he was trying to do. That was a big deal because the chief officiant at the sacrificial service was Shmuel Navi. And so too we find during Samuel's wars, who was the one whom Samuel had to wait for in order to offer the sacrifice, in order to, I guess, find God's favor. As they went to war against the Philistines, Samuel was supposed to wait for Shmuel HaNavi. He was the chief officiant at the sacrificial services then. So Shmuel HaNavi, in his righteousness and in his, well, righteousness in this case, I guess it has two meanings: the justice of what he was doing, and his own personal righteousness, or the justness, and the fact that it's saying is tzedek in God's eyes. So he was able to achieve that which Korach did not, and it's because Korach apparently, like Chazal say in the Medrash, he had an inkling of the greatness of his descendants, except he didn't understand it too much, and he didn't do what he did exactly the Shem Shemayim, and failed. But Shmuel Navi succeeded. Okay, very interesting.